relentless killings of whistleblowers and witnesses has left many citizens rattled. Earlier this week, 2 people were shot and killed while walking towards the Randburg Magistrates Court. The husband and wife were witnesses in a 2018 assault case against 4 police officers. Speaking at the launch of the National Anti-Corruption Dialogue on Wednesday, Chief Justice Raymond Zondo said whistleblowers are entitled to financial compensation. Let's discuss this now with Mike Bolhuis, a specialist investigator into serious and violent crimes. Mike, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Let's start there. The issue of whistleblowers is something that is not new, and the fact that whistleblowers are constantly being killed in South Africa is always a big problem. Is there even an opportunity or a possibility that we can successfully deal with this matter to protect whistleblowers, as it were?
Yes, the ability to do so is there, but it's not implemented and it's not done. It's definitely not in place. So if we look at this incident, I just want to tell the public how you do a deduction. There's 2 people going to court for something specific, and they get killed. There are 4 people standing accused for something specific. It could only be them. It's either done by their hand or arranged by their connections, or it's done by themselves. So that's the deduction you make in a case. There's nobody that will just drive around and shoot 2 people walking to court unless there is a definite plan as to eliminate them from testifying or being at that court. So coming back to your question and statement, it's unfortunately the criminals win here hands-on, because this just shows that anybody that is called to testify could be killed. And this shows the hand of the state, the police, the authorities, that they cannot protect those people. We've seen this time and time again, and they don't necessarily have to kill people. They intimidate people, or they buy them, or they influence them, or they influence the authorities. So this is the end result. This is the most desperate move, where you kill people before they testify, where there's no other option or way. But all the other things that I've mentioned is things that is being done by the criminal element in South Africa, whilst there is a case ongoing against criminals and an ongoing court situation where they bribe, influence, intimidate in any and every possible way in order to not be prosecuted or found guilty.
So whose responsibility is it, Mike, to protect the whistleblowers?
The responsibility is at the end in the responsibility of the police. The police, the prosecutors, the judicial system, the authorities involved in any person that has gone the route of whistleblowing, giving information, and that it's identified as important information in order to bring criminals to book. Those authorities being involved with those whistleblowers are fully, totally, and absolutely responsible. Because the normal person, for instance, if you yourself were to go and give information and your life is in danger, you cannot protect yourself. You do not know the criminals. You might know them due to the crimes that they have committed, and that's what you're going to testify. But you do not know what hand they can play in order to have you influenced or killed. So the authorities should know this, and they should anticipate this, and they should make sure that people get safely and as in safe houses and safely brought to court. This is not done. Unfortunately, that infrastructure is not in place.
In a case like this one, Mike, where the whistleblowers were going to testify in a case that involves police, then is it fair to say the police also should provide security for these whistleblowers, for these witnesses in this case? Because their colleagues, as it were, are involved in this matter.
Especially. I've said it so many times before that police corruption in our country is enormous, and it does not necessarily mean selling a docket. It means when you do not protect and serve, and when you have cases against you as a policeman, you have the ability, you've got maybe the training, the connections in order to influence and manipulate, and even to an extreme level like this one, where you have people killed if they testify against you. Take in consideration, who else would want these two people dead? Who else? There's nobody else. So somewhere along the line, if I may put it this way, is either an instruction was given, look, we 4 guys, policemen, are going to jail. We're going to lose our pensions, our name and reputations, which probably is already lost. But they made a very big mistake here. It's a matter of deduction. These people died because of them, no other reason. So the police that did this case, investigated this case, has been involved in this case against these 4 policemen, in my opinion, is just as guilty. They should have anticipated this. They should have known that this could happen. They know this happens in this country. Look, it's very easy to kill a person. We all know it. It's constantly in the news. Drive-by shootings is happening by the day. So why this wasn't anticipated, why this wasn't dealt with, why there wasn't safety and security in place in these situations is mind-boggling.
Because in the bigger scheme of things, Mike, this will somehow deter witnesses and whistleblowers from coming forward because of fear for their lives, isn't it?
Yes, it will. The police must, with this case, it's in the media, it's everywhere. They must make a clear example. What the judge has ordered there must be done immediately. It should have been done immediately. All the testing, all the forensic information, all the body forensic information, the cell phones, everything must be done immediately. Those police, because of what I've just explained, a deduction matter, should have been already taken in incarceration. Unfortunately, the criminal of today, these criminal policemen, have got lawyers. And the lawyers, I mean, their arguments is just, it's also mind-boggling. But hopefully this case will be dealt with severely in order to get the public maybe have some trust in whistleblowers coming forward in future. But I actually don't see it. We see it in our cases. We see it everywhere that people do not want to get involved anymore. Their mindset is one of, I'm rather going to grunt and bear it and sit aside, walk away and leave it. They don't want to open cases anymore. They only do it if it's absolutely necessary. They don't want to testify. They don't want to be involved in court cases. And this and so many other previous similar and equal situations have put them in a spot of extreme fear, and they fear for their lives. But some whistleblowers really go out of their way, and they want to make that difference, and they can pay with their lives. So this will definitely deter present whistleblowers, those who are still in the system, and those who is considering it.
Mike, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for taking time to speak to us. Mike Bolhuis, a specialist investigator into serious and violent crimes. We've seen many a case of whistleblowers being killed, and the issue of their protection still continuously comes up.